Alright, let's fucking start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Fuck, I Dropped My Sushi, and Now There's Dust on It! Joining me today are my fellow co-hosts, my friends, my compatriots in this long journey that we call life, the succulent Steven.
Well, he keeps switching up who goes first and who goes last. Normally I go last, now I'm going first. I was just thinking, rain sticks.
Also joining us today is the choice, Chase.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we are also joined by the Best Buy, Ben.
It's me. I am Ben Toe. I've got
there
toes.
he is.
Oh,
Ben's
thank God Ben
toes.
saved it.
That's
That
the
was
show.
horrible, Joey.
This week, Ben's
And
toes.
finally, we have me, the great value, Joey the Dark Lord. Today we're going to talk about bento.
Stop. I'm not going to let you get away with saying the great value and then say your name. when you gave me succulent and you gave Chase choice, you don't get to say the great. No. Someone come up with something better, because
Oh,
I'm
just
all
try
right,
and
all right.
stop me.
And now, last and least,
crate.
Joey.
There we go. There we go.
I can't be
The
great
one we
value.
berate.
You can be
You can
a
be
value.
Kroger. You're Kroger. You're the Kroger brand of this.
Can I
group.
be Sam? Can I be Sam's choice?
No, you're no one's
You're right.
choice.
You're right. That's way too high class.
You're
for
my.
me.
What's that? What's that store? It's like my sister's attic or something. You can be that.
I don't know what
I
that
know
store
what
is.
you're saying.
Anyways,
Today we are talking about Bento, a show that has things happening in it. Steven, do you want to describe it for us?
I will. We start with our character. He's a guy.
Mhm.
He's at a store. His name is Sato, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly.
You are correct.
From just 30 minutes ago or so when I finished it. Anyways, so this guy, he's just trying to get some bento, and everyone's trying to get his bento, and basically, for some awesome reason, every time the bento gets put on discount for like half priced, at night, there is like a brawl that happens in the store over this bento, and it's like an actual thing, and it's wonderful, and I love it. And so this show is about this guy progressing through his formative years of high school, trying to get some bento, going through the struggles for that sweet bento, and he learns a lot of valuable lessons on the way, but not really.
Yeah, that's pretty
Wow.
much it.
God, what a twist!
Yep.
Thanks, Shyamalan.
There we go. That's it.
That's basically
and,
it, though.
Honestly, like I think it's kind of hard to get in specific, or it's hard to get into generalizations when describing the show, because there are a lot of specific things that happen. Lots of like mini arcs that take like two episodes.
That's called a show, dumbass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like it's harder to describe from a general standpoint.
They fight over bento and they
yeah,
learn
that's pretty
lessons,
much
sort
it.
of. That's
Yeah.
that's the general. It's the easiest
Yeah.
thing in the world.
I'd say it's episodic.
Kind of, but there are lots of things that
Yeah.
aren't
Most,
like
it-
typical
Well, there's
of an
some-
episodic show.
There's some like episode by episode arcs,
it's mostly a
well,
monster of the
we'll get
week
to it.
thing.
except there's no monsters,
Except there's no monsters. Just
so it's just a
wolves.
week.
Great. Okay. Anyways,
A normal
That was-
of the week.
All right, we're already flailing. It's time for me to step up to the plate. The choice chase, presenting you with your own choice. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Oh
I am
shit!
ready.
I think
Yeah.
it's
So
time.
soon?
I don't know.
Okay.
I need verbal consent.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
I
ready.
don't know if I put enough
I'm
pairs
fucking
of
ready.
socks on.
Well, too bad. That's close enough, Ben. It's time for... Drum roll, please. I'll take it. Choose your waifu! Woo, yeah, it's my favorite. All right, welcome.
go first?
Welcome to the show within the show. Choose your waifu. In Fuck, I Dropped My Sushi, Now There's Dust on It. I'm Chase the Spank. Here are my Well, not stars, because they all suck. Here are the other people. Guys,
Hey.
who's your favorite waifu?
Oh. I would have to say the blonde girl, the beauty by the lake. I don't know. I like her. She's got a nice personality, and every time she's around the novelist girl, she starts feeling her up, and I respect that.
would
You know,
like to-
I'm just a fan of rape. You know,
I am going to second that notion in saying that the beauty by the lake is also my waifu because she is babylicious and she's not
Hey, hang on a sec. I get yelled at for using the term great value, and you come in here with babelicious? Get the hell out of here. This is garbage. This is bullcrap.
She's babe-tastic, and I
God.
agree in the sense that she doesn't have like an irritating personality. She's pretty chill. She's got a solid voice actor in the dub, so that's nice. And yeah,
She does. Her voice is sexy as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Beauty by the lake, more like fruity by the lake, meaning she's queer.
Boom.
Because the
Wow.
only one like is the white one.
Ah, destroyed. Wow, she's already
course,
out of the running. Thanks to Ben.
Of course, a fruit pun coming from generally bananas over here. Get out of here.
They're
Ben,
my
Ben,
most
who's your
lethal
waifu?
weapon. Though I only like the white one.
Well, that's all
white-
of them.
No,
There are no black
the
characters.
white-haired one, the senpai.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh,
the
the
ice
ice
It
switch.
escapes me because everyone always just calls her senpai. Ice Witch.
Yeah, Ice Witch is neat.
Is she
I like
ever
her.
referred to in any other name?
Yeah, her name is Harazui, I think.
Something
That
like
sounds
that.
right.
But no one ever calls her that.
Well,
They do
Sato
in the
does.
dub.
Sato does.
Really?
Anyways, the spank, who spanked me forth into existence. What is who waifu?
All right, man. I've heard you. I've heard your choices. And frankly, aside from Ben, I'm disappointed. I can never be
Of course.
disappointed in Ben, even if he chose the same girl as you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's
This
fair.
may
That's fitting.
this may come as a shock. You may be
no.
appalled.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Oh no.
My
Who?
waifu.
It's the black bitch.
Ew, no, gross. Steven, come on. No, my favorite is Shiraume,
Yep.
the yandere.
Here it is, folks.
No.
Step
Oh,
right
yeah.
up.
Oh,
The
yes.
black-haired
The
bitch.
By
folly.
saying you could never
The
be
folly
disappointed,
of
did you mean that the bar is
yes.
set so low for Ben?
The black-haired bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Well, I thought you said
Okay,
the black bitch.
Well, I did
Yeah, me too.
because Ben went with the whole like the white one, and so I was like following up. It was like a continuation.
All right, well, ignoring whatever Steven's about to say,
Right.
Chase, I
Cucked again.
cannot. Most times I can understand where you're coming from, but Shiraume is the most annoying character in the whole show.
Well,
I
and
don't
that
understand
is-
why you would call her waifu.
And that is where you're wrong, Joey. That is where you're
she's
wrong.
got good looks. I like her looks. That's about it, though.
She has got legs for days. She's got
Okay,
a
she
booty
does.
that will not quit.
Possibly.
And best of all, if you can manage to be the center of her attraction, like a glasses bitch. I don't know her name. The bad one.
Oshiroi.
Yes, if you can manage to be her Oshiroi, you will never have another care in the world. Everything is taken care of. Somebody cuts
I
in
don't
front of
think
you
that's
at
true.
fucking Starbucks, she'll murder them right then and there. Anybody
Yeah, but
anybody
she's
gives you a
also
look,
Asking
constantly trying-
politely first.
she'll murder. Yeah, and she's constantly trying to feel me up. Why would I say no to that? I'm all about that shit.
She's-
You can take all the naked baths with me you want, baby. I am for it.
I
Well,
gotta say he
I
makes
disagree.
a convincing argument.
She's irritating. Her personality is subprime, and I can't overlook
Yes.
that
her
personality.
her personality is a subprime mortgage loan. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
Gross. Nobody knows what an economic is. So shut up.
We got some. This look. Here's the problem with Shiraume. Okay, She is gross. I don't like her. I don't like her face. I don't like her personality. She's constantly she never is real, okay? She's just abducting people and beating them up and, like, not using her brain. And, of course, like, she's a woman, so you're gonna get that anyways. But with her, it's, like, to another level, okay? It's garbage.
Bro,
I agree.
I think there's something you're overlooking.
What?
Have you ever heard of a Homura?
I have.
The
yes.
wild Pokemon of anime?
What?
Just say yes.
Yes?
This is basically Homura in high school, except without the time powers.
Oh, you mean like from Madoka? Oh.
Yeah, duh. What the fuck else would I be talking
no.
about, you dumb piece of
No,
shit?
this is not at all
Pokemon
like
of
Homura.
anime?
Oh, you mean besides the fact she looks exactly like her, is voiced by the same voice actress, and has the same motivation? God, it's nothing like her.
Editor,
because
put up a couple
Shira
pictures.
Ume is
She
willing
looks
to
completely
like
different.
kidnap people and beat them up and
Dude,
shit
Homura
for
fucking
no
murdered
reason.
people and let people die just for the sake of her
Chase.
one girl she liked.
No,
Chase,
it's for
they
the
look
sake of the
completely
world.
different,
No, it was for
aside
one
from their hair
person.
color and length.
Hold on, Ben, could you
Homer's
repeat that?
a
Joey
little round
sucks.
girl.
Yeah, they have different build, different bust size, different face.
She was also younger in
that
Madoka
order of
Magic.
Yeah,
Importance.
that's
Anyways.
why I said older.
That's why I'm
She's
backing you
older.
up, Chase. I'm not arguing here.
She's become more mature. She's developed, and now
Vote in the comments below.
Ew,
Who
no,
is
there is
who
there
is,
is no vote.
the best
Everybody else is
waifu?
wrong except for me and Ben. Both of our answers are correct.
All right.
And,
Alright,
and Steven,
well-
you get a half point.
Yes.
No, I have
Moving
to say, Chase,
on.
you worried me there because you said I could never disappoint you. Does that mean that the bar is just set so low?
Yeah, Chase. Nice. Now
Ben
you've
is
offended
like-
Ben.
Ben is saying you have no idea where I can go. Ben is ready to take this to the next level.
All right. Well, I want to talk about very quickly my favorite part about this whole show, which is at the half episode break when some random guy just comes out of nowhere and screams at the top of his lungs, "Bento!" And it's fucking amazing. I love it. It's my favorite part of the show. I'm so hyped to watch more bento brawls from this guy.
I think I'm gonna make that my text alert.
So there is one episode. I'm not sure if it's just one, but they undo it, and it's one of the girls, and it's a girl. Maybe it's the guy. I don't recall, but they say it in a different voice. They don't scream it. They're like bento.
Yeah, towards the end they start shaking it up and they have like a bunch of different characters who are
they
all
kind of
saying
lose
it.
me.
But at the
They're
beginning
always a
it's
different
this
scream.
guy.
Every episode. And
No,
it's great.
they use the same guy a couple times.
No,
Yeah, but it's always a different scream. And they
I
always go
watched.
for a different angle.
I want to say with that, one of the first times watched, not the first time, but one of the first times, I watched the dub version of the show, and I quite enjoyed it, specifically because the main character, Sato, when he's like in his mind and he's like yelling at himself, I genuinely think it's hilarious. I think the voice actor did a great job yelling. Like when they're doing, as much as I didn't care for this episode, the pool episode, when he's like yelling at himself.
Dude, the pool episode was great.
It was great until he had a rotor strapped to his dick.
That was
was the
why it
best
was
part.
great.
I just hated when his pants fell down and they reverted to
Yeah.
the same old,
Yeah.
he's a pervert.
Sure, I didn't mind that. I didn't like that either. But when
Yeah,
he was
that
like,
sucked.
when he was invited to go to the pool, like at the very start of the episode, and he was like, "Yes, I can fight!" Like him yelling in his own brain over how like hyped up he was to go to the pool and see them in bathing suits. I was actually laughing out loud on my own, which is something I rarely ever do. I hardly ever laugh out loud when I'm just watching something by myself.
Oh yes, Sato's great. He's a great main character to watch because he's just genuinely funny
Yeah.
in the comedic moments.
Yeah, like
Now when it comes to like serious stuff,
Sure.
everybody becomes a retarded pile of garbage. But we're not talking about that
there
yet.
were so many good jokes.
We're talking about the good stuff.
Like
Well, we're
the
talking
moment
about
when-
voice acting.
When
And I thought he was voice
he
acted
jumps
very
out the
well.
window to grab his Sega console.
Yeah,
And
that was great.
He says a poem to himself, and before he hits the ground, it cuts away to another character doing something.
Well, thank God, because
I
that
feel-
scene was dragging with him in the air.
I feel like this show does cutaway gags really well, kind of in the way Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei does them. The weird,
You know what?
surreal,
You know what transition I liked?
the odd-paced
I
gags
like-
that Zetsubo Sensei
I-
does.
I don't think I've ever seen this, but you know what transition I liked? I really liked that chopstick transition they
Yeah.
do, where the
Yes.
chopsticks come in this frame
Hell
and they break
yeah.
apart to the next
Yeah,
scene.
I liked
It was actually
I
cool.
liked
This show is
Thank
so full
fucking
of little
God.
pieces of personality.
Yeah.
Little,
It
little
has
moments
ideas.
of personality, like opening the bento box and someone yells bento, and then the scene transitions with the chopsticks breaking.
I totally forgot the anime could try new things.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God for this show, for the most part. For some of the part. For about half, I'd say.
Out of
Yeah.
all of the shows that we've watched, this one is definitely my favorite. And
Yeah.
for
I can
the
agree with
people who are just not, since this is the first released episode, we have done like practice runs, and this is by far like my favorite show that we've watched out of all
I
of
feel
them.
like I would go back and rewatch some moments of this show.
Yeah.
Like maybe the scene where he's eating the bento that the girl made for him. The bad luck girl.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that
Marveling
that
at
bitch.
each piece because it tastes wrong.
She's a contender.
I think
For
that
be-
might be
for
the
best
best
girl.
food eating scene in anime for me.
Well, get Digibro in here to tell you you're wrong.
No,
I don't know where I was
did
going.
Hey, what do you
Digibros
know,
are
Joey?
gay.
There is
Okay.
something I'm going to be cutting out. Your audio.
My audio's cutting out?
Roasted.
Okay. Alright. I was, just gonna cry over here.
But yeah, this show has a couple of really strong first episodes, I think.
Well,
Yeah, it
No,
does.
not episode
two
one.
was cool.
Episode one was
I
kind of
think are all
dumb.
good.
Episode
I kinda-
1 was dumb.
Episode 1 was okay. It was introducing everything. Then episode 2 was great.
From
Yeah, I didn't
episode
like
one,
episode
it's like,
1. I didn't
it's
like
like
it.
not clear what they're doing. Like the guy's in the store, and then he sees the ice
And then
witch
he's just getting
outside,
beat up.
and then he's like, "Oh, I died."
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
such an odd introduction.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going on until about 2/3 in.
Yeah, and it's just fucking confusing. But then episode 2 starts off, and he's like a part of the club, and then it's like, oh, he's gonna fight for the bento, and he's like, oh, I enjoy this. I'm a wolf. I'm doing it. And then it's like, yeah, okay,
and then,
I'm
and then they
into
go
it. That's
further with
cool.
that in like episode 3, whenever he's getting it the easy way, and it's not satisfying like at all. And so then he's just like, "Fuck you guys!
Yeah.
I'm gonna
As
beat
much
you
as I
all
was
up,
annoyed
and I'm
by
gonna
how
deserve
slowly
this
he
fucking
came
bento,
to-
you cocksuckers."
Yeah. Yeah.
As irritated I was at how long it took him to come to that realization, that was a necessary part in the series, because I feel like them being as hyped as they are for the bento is what got me hyped for them getting the bento.
Yeah, I agree.
Seeing how much it meant to them and seeing them get all excited about it and picking out what they want and cross-referencing to make sure they've not picked the same target, and then all just launching at it and beating each other up.
Yeah.
That is nice.
It feels so good.
Yeah, I okay, first off, I absolutely adore the premise of the show. It's just it doesn't try to be anything other than just like it's not like a serious show at all. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of people who literally fight over discounted bento.
Dude, and they don't even get names.
like-
They get these little nicknames. They're
I
not
know.
even people. You've got
I know.
fucking brunette,
Yeah.
who is just a brunette girl
Yeah,
who's
who
there
is ne-
sometimes.
And she has massive boobs, and they never show
Nope, they
her
showed it
face.
once. They
just
showed it
Yeah.
once
on
in the
her
last
boobs.
episode. They
Yeah,
show
No,
it.
they
You
don't
see
show
her
it.
eyes and everything.
They show it. Yeah.
I took a
it's,
gander.
it's pretty brief. Also, Krillin's
I know
there.
They show a scene
Yeah, I
where
know,
she's got
Krillin.
shadows over her eyes.
adult Krillin is there participating. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. I think it's actually a very like funny show.
And then I was also there.
Um,
I don't know if you saw my cameo as
Oh, yeah.
Goatee.
Yeah, Chase, what were you doing? You're supposed to be watching the show, not in it.
Well, sorry.
Failed joke, bad joke. Just
Chase,
bad.
you always gotta one-up us.
Well, I don't have to. I just
God
kind of
damn
do.
Oh, fuck you.
Yes, please. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so,
yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Steven, you were talking about some of the voice acting earlier, and
Yes.
I think for like the main characters, the voice acting is pretty on point. Like the Beauty by the Lake or Sato, those are both good voices. However, some of the secondary characters sound like dog shit. For example, the
agree.
twins. Every single line that the twins have is dog
Now
shit.
hold on,
It's
hold on,
terrible, and I
Joey,
hate
hold
it.
on. Only one twin sounded horrible, and it was Q.
They both.
Which
okay.
one?
I didn't
All
care
right.
for the twins.
All right.
I didn't care when in episode 11 they did this weird like backstory to them when they were kids. I don't care about the twins. I don't want to see the twins.
Oh. Hold on.
You know, I started to
cared.
care
I
about
cared
them,
about them
actually.
because of the backstory and all that weird,
I
fucked up
didn't.
shit. Not like fucked up, but like fucked up for this
I
show.
don't know. I feel like episode 11, besides episode 9, might have been the weakest just because it's like the build-up. It's the calm before the storm, but then the storm isn't that stormy.
Well, I just called it like a transition episode in my notes, just because
Also-
not a whole lot happens. You just kind of like waiting for the next
It was a
episode.
fine episode. It was just kind of slow.
I don't know. I think 8 was the worst. So like what happens is
8?
8, yeah, because Sato ends up in the
Yeah, I
hospital.
guess.
Because he jumps out the window to save his Sega machine.
Like a
And
like
then
a real man,
I love
Joey.
that
How
part,
dare
though.
you disrespect him like this? You changed your tone.
Sato is a glorious human being, and he jumps out the window to save his Sega
All right,
machine.
calm down, you
know,
weirdo.
and he ends up in the hospital, and all of episode 8 is him in the hospital, and then the twins show up thinking that he's the Ice Witch, and one of them is like trying to seduce him. Well, she wants to seduce the Ice Witch, but she doesn't know that it's him until she starts unwrapping the bandages and realizes that it's not the Ice Witch, and she's
And it
retarded.
takes her
And that's
all the
Joey,
way until
you're
she
missing
reaches his
the
penis. to
22
figure it out.
minutes. Yeah.
Joey, you're missing the extra layer of bullshit and all that, which is she's not trying to seduce him. That's just how she is acting, because she has a weird fetish for strong opponents. But she's not.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
just acting weird. She's not intentionally seducing him.
It's a weird app.
I don't know.
It's a weird app.
It is, but you know what? I was turned
Boring
around.
until the very end when it's annoying because they pull the stupid pervert joke again.
This episode
Yeah.
this episode won my heart around the halfway point before losing it at the end. But what I loved most is that you start the episode, we're following these twins, they sound horrible and we hate them, right? We can all agree at this point.
Did you guys all watch dub?
I watched
Yeah.
dub.
Well, there we go. Chase, continue.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so their voices suck and we hate them at this point. But then they pull something pink out of the closet. What could it be? I believe it's Hope, and I was right. Because when they put on that pink gown, they became my nurse fetish that I've always had, and I loved them.
I believe it's hope. Oh, well, it's not going to get any better than that. Thanks for joining us.
That was my entire point, by the way. Anybody else can continue.
So, if I'm the only one who watched the sub, that's cool.
Ben,
Then that
why
means
are you so gay?
Well, Joey, didn't you kind of watch the dub or the sub a little bit at first?
I watched the sub for episodes 2 and 3 because I got off of Verve and then I got back onto it, and I forgot that I switched between the two. Whatever, it's not interesting. Who cares? Go on, Ben.
Yeah, they have a few interesting voices, I guess. They're just slightly different from the norm, I think. What's more interesting, I think, is in the dub. I did check out the dub slightly. It seems like all the actors were recorded differently. Some of the male characters have horrible compression on their voices.
You know, I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, me either.
I think I was just distracted by all the bento boxes. They're so enticing.
I was so hungry while watching this series.
Dude, my stomach growled and I gathered my brethren and we beat up Hercules.
That's one thing I don't like about food anime is that they always make me hungry because they make the food look so good. Like, watching the characters enjoy the food to that extent makes me hate myself for not enjoying food that much. It's an abusive cycle.
It just makes me really want good food.
Give me that eel.
I want a hot, meaty platter to sink my teeth into while watching this show.
Oh, I've got plenty.
Ooh.
The rest of this podcast will just be Chase and Ben making noises at each other in an enticing way.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks for watching. There we go. That's it. Yeah, so one thing I want to talk about is how this show has weirdly good writing in some places. Ben mentioned earlier the whole thing with the Sega, and it's very unusual for a show like this to have a character do one thing in an episode, and then the next episode or the episode after, they reference that, and they actually, like, call back to it. So, like, the fact that he, like, ends up in the hospital for the episode afterwards, I expected it to just be, like, done and over with within the same episode, but they actually do this multiple times where they call back to previous events.
Oh, yeah, because him being in the hospital actually meant something, you know? Like, episodes on, they were just like, hey, weren't you in the hospital? Or, oh, God, all these medical bills. Now I have even less money.
Which means I need to get back to bentos. The half-price bentos. Often because also I believe they do have multiple of these stupid stunts of the main characters in a row. And so then the ending of the series, he's supposed to be getting back to fighting after a while, after a long rest. Because he's been hospitalized multiple times in quick succession.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you get batteries shoved up your butt. You go to the hospital.
I don't think he ever did get batteries shoved up his butt.
That we know of.
Why would they hide that from us, Chase?
Joey,
why would they not show
if
that?
Akiba Strip
Specifically
taught us
to
anything,
me.
it's that nobody wants to see male nudity.
I think Akiba's trip didn't teach us anything at all, though. Except
no.
Puko is best girl.
Oh, boy.
That's it.
Uh-oh. Not again. We're going to have another fight on our hands.
Puko all the way!
I forgot about Puko.
She saved the world twice!
Thank God I have the
I was
power
trying
to
think,
edit
why
anything
did I
want.
like Akiba's trip at all? And
Chase,
I couldn't
edit this
remember.
in. I'm gay.
No. Well, I'll edit that one in. That's going to be that on loop throughout that entire conversation.
I suck dicks.
Yeah. Well, there's our theme. It's just going to be Joey and all his gay shit he says.
Yeah, another thing about to substantiate what I was saying earlier is there's one point where the main character shows up in the store dressed fully in girls' clothes, and they just all look at him in shame, and they're like, "Wow, you're such a fucking pervert." And then that becomes his, like, fighting name, is the pervert, and that's who he is. And it's great. I like it. Yeah.
I also like the fact that his rival was there. His rival, I thought, was funny when he was like when Sato or whatever his name was. He was like
Sato.
Yeah, he was like, guys, I'm not a pervert. And then his rival was like, please stop yelling. You're making a scene.
Yeah.
It was
that was really funny.
It was quite well done.
All right. Is there anything else you guys like about this show? Because
the fights
we gotta get to the bitching.
are okay.
Fights are fun.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Ben.
Just they're interesting. They're not very well choreographed or anything. They're not anything special, but something about the atmosphere of the fights, I get as excited as they do for the bentos.
Yeah, I do too. The atmosphere, I think it's the fact that, like, they're all, like, standing there waiting, like, at a start line, and the second that the door closes after the god of discounts, like, discounts the second it closes, I just have this anticipation of chaos breaking loose, and it's that anticipation that, like, preps me to be, like, in a mood to watch like this upcoming mayhem.
Because also I really feel this pride of the wolf that they go on about, and they really seem to be enjoying the fight.
Well, that's
you kind of feel you feel their fun, and you can I get into it.
Yeah, well, that's what made the final arc so enticing with the twins, because you've got because fucking Heracles 2B, that was his name, right? His monicum.
It was Hercules' club.
I'm talking about the dub. Ben. Get the fuck
Oh,
out
it's
of here.
Hercules Combo.
He is
Combo,
the club
right.
of Hercules because they are called.
Well, they're
They're named after
Orthros.
yeah, they're
a
Orthros.
creature that Hercules killed with a club, so he is the club.
Right. Anyway,
I
so
love-
when,
Sorry.
hold on, Ben. Hold
Yeah,
on. We can get
go
to your
on.
point in just a second.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this show surprised me by making the twins actually likable in the end, and made me feel bad for them because once I saw that this is how we beat them by making them not able to include themselves in this fuck fest fighting over bento, like I felt that pit that they probably felt like, oh shit, that would suck to be deprived of all this.
I was really surprised because at first he's like, oh, we're just not gonna fight you and you could just take the bentos, and I was like, that's not that big of a deal. But then it happens and I actually felt stung. I was like, what? Oh no.
Yeah, because they go and grab the bento and they walk away and then the fights start and they can't include themselves. Oh, it's painful.
That ties in, I guess, to the fact. Like, that relies on the fact that we find the fights so enjoyable. We feel how enjoyable these fights are. So then when you hear that they're going to be excluded from the fight, as annoying as they were seeming, the show did make a point of slowly building up to the fact that they are doing it for the fun of the fight. They're doing it. They're doing this for the same reason as the main characters. They love the atmosphere and they love fighting for these bentos. And that's why they're searching for strong opponents. They don't like they don't like pushovers. But they're introduced much like the previous villain was. They just seem like overpowered assholes.
Well, I wouldn't call the Monarch an overpowered asshole. Just kind of an asshole. He really wasn't all that tough.
Yeah, he's not really that strong.
He's also a moron for fasting 3 days so he could get stronger.
Yeah,
but all that does is make him
dude.
fucking weak as shit. Like, what the fuck? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, but also hilarious.
His stomach growls and it shakes the entire store.
Yeah, the fact that he loses...
the heel turn was brilliant. Like, the positive heel turn. And it was very inventive of them, I think.
I really liked the idea that he just fasted for 3 days, which I think is hilarious. But another point that I want to bring up, that I want to make sure I bring up, that I liked about this, is it's got some, like, oddly dynamic shots in it. And there's one particularly that I'm thinking of that I really liked. And it's this, there's this shot of him, I think it's in the 3rd episode. Maybe it's the 5th or
the one
something.
With the dogs?
No. It's the one where the blonde girl is
introduced.
It's the one where he wears the girl's clothes to the store.
That's episode 5.
I think that's episode 4.
4?
No,
okay. Either way,
he cross dresses in 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is it 5? Okay, well, they have this shot that I really like, where he, like, busts out of this door and, like, lands, like, on his side, but then, like, it looks like he's gonna fall, but he, like, manages to, like, keep running, and I, like, really, really liked that shot and the way it was animated. I thought it was, like, super awesome. It's, like, right at the beginning of the episode. I don't know if you guys are knowing what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, wait, are you talking about an episode... Yeah, the one where they throw his clothes in the furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what... Yeah. It's a great shot, and it's weirdly over-animated.
And I really like
to the rest
it.
of the show.
I know, and I really like it. It's
great.
I thought it was really fun watching him do this, like, weird side run thing out of this. Like, I would love to. I just want to watch it again, talking about it.
Yeah, they play. You can tell they liked it too because they played it twice. Once as a fast forward to what it was, what the episode was going to be, and then later as the actual event.
Yeah. Which
Well,
I'm okay with because I got to see it twice.
Yeah, same.
Cucked again.
That's what happens when you bring the infinite cuck into a podcast. Expect to be cucked.
Well, before we get into, because I think that the fights are kind of like, they got some bad stuff to it. But my final good point to make is episode 7. They go to the beach, they go to the pool, they go to the water park, and there's bento there. Because of course they can't drop the bento gimmick. Of course they need to do it. So they set up the bento stand, and the god of discounts comes out to mark the discounts. and it's just this fucking guy in a dolphin costume, head to toe.
I think it's
Like, you can't see his face.
Hold on, did anybody else think that it was
It's a dolphin.
that it was at first got a discount in a costume?
Guys, don't spoil the joke. It's,
Oh, no.
just
I didn't.
know it's the funniest part of the show, and you should just watch that.
Well, here's what happens, is he comes out, and the music cuts out, and we just focus on this guy and everything that he does. Okay, the rest of the show just fades away in the peripherals. And this guy pulls out the fucking discount stickers, and he tries to swipe them, and he can't get them, because he's got a fucking fin on his hand. So he just tears the arm off of the costume, and just peels it off with his hand, leaves the arm there, and walks away.
And the fin is used in a gag
It's
later.
fucking amazing.
Hence the weirdly good writing.
It's legendary.
What would you guys say was the best episode?
Oh, 7. All the way. That fucking dolphin is gonna stay with me
Yeah.
for decades.
Same.
He's a hero.
I think, yeah, same. The dolphin. I want to change my answer. The dolphin is my waifu.
That's fair.
Yeah!
All right, Ben wins.
Dolphin!
Ben has won Choose Your Waifu.
All right.
It's now a competition too, which is great. You know what? I'd probably agree with that. That being the best episode, because there are like 2 distinct moments when Sato has his like in-brain screaming that happens too. That I like. I really can't stress enough how much I like it. Like there's the first one where he's like screaming about how excited he is to see them all in bathing suits. And then there's another one when they're on like the train and he's like looking at the wife, the one god of discounts. He's looking at this girl and she's talking about how like the water park is so big that he's gonna have a handful of things to explore, and he like zooms in on her boobs and he's like, oh, I bet I will have a handful. And then he's like, and then like in his brain he's like, no, you fool. And he's like, the silver hair, the ice switch is the only one for you.
Don't be
And
greedy.
he like drags his head down in shame, and it was just it was actually really I love it. I thought the voice actor like absolutely killed it.
You're really making me want to rewatch the show dubbed now.
You should watch just that one like first 10 minutes of that episode dubbed, because it's great.
Yeah.
No, you should watch the whole episode, because afterwards you get to re-experience the great scene where they put all of the bentos into these like little balls and put them in the water. So now they have to fight for the bento instead of in a convenience store in a pool. And Sato does this ridiculous goofy shit where he starts using the like propulsion in the water to like swim faster. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's the coolest
he's also
thing
using
ever.
his fucking
He's using
boner as like
he's
a
using
rotor.
the jets. Yeah.
So yeah, then one of the characters is like, how is it that he's so fast? It's almost like he has a rudder between his legs. Weirdly specific, because he does have a rudder between his legs. It's his boner, which is covered up by the penguin's arm, the dolphin arm that was torn off
and the
earlier.
Fucking Beauty's just like, it can't be that big, can it?
Yes.
Because she had just before been trying to fluster him so he couldn't move around as freely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the best episode ever.
She does that every time he gets one now.
Are there many other anime that acknowledge boners to this extent?
Mine.
I don't. Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
beyond the childhood friend wakes you up in the morning and you've got morning wood gag that so many shows do.
And then they beat
I
you
don't
up.
think there are any that actually acknowledge
Speaking
that.
of beat you up, here's the real best episode of the entire show. And
Oh,
it's
God.
the first
Oh,
half
God.
of episode 9. The second half it sucks.
No.
I
All
don't
The
know what
first
you're
half
talking
is
about.
episode 9.
Was
Is
shit.
Shiraume versus the twins. And it's great. Because they're just one-upping each other with all the smut they have on each other. And it's hilarious. And at the end, the payoff, Shiraume goes back to the school, goes up to Sato, is just like, you embarrassed the fuck out of me today. And just knocks him the fuck out on the spot. But
Yeah,
the
I
second half
disagree.
sucks because it's about her groping the nerdy chick, and I don't like her.
Well, I disagree
she's
with that. I was
weirdly
pretty turned on
creepy.
by that.
And the character is clearly uncomfortable with everything she's doing.
But I'm not. And
then
that's
they
all that
end it
matters.
with more pervert, miscommunication bullshit. I hate it. It's the worst.
Well, let's. Does anybody have any more points to make about the good stuff of the show? Which there are quite a few good things to note.
There are so many. Despite all the flaws that this show has, and I would say it's about half flaws, somehow it still ends up being a very positive experience.
It's got an acceptable conclusion for once. Like
Yeah.
I liked it. Where at the end, everybody's friends again. The twins can now fight, and then Sato wins. He gets the seafood. He gets the eel for his babe who's sick, and then they eat it together. What a guy.
Yeah, because the idea.
I mean, somehow the twins
Yeah,
lost.
I'm ignoring
but,
that because
whatever.
I'm looking at the bigger picture here. You know, it was all good. I
Yeah.
would like to have seen how he beat them because I think that would have been interesting. But I'll let it slide this one time.
All right, well, let's get into the bad because there's a bunch of poop in this show. Also, it's the worst anime.
Hey, hold on.
ever
Before
made.
we get to the shitting on this, I need to restart Discord. I need
Oh,
to restart
God.
Discord because I am cutting out like every other sentence you guys speak.
Cut out on that, bitch.
Cut out on wait,
Yeah,
cut out
got
on
him.
what?
All right, just
Okay,
reconnect.
I will be right back.
Okay. While Chase does that, to summarize the good of the show, it is weirdly inventive. With
Yeah,
the
and
various
it buys
plot
into its own
things,
hype.
like, even just thinking of shaking up the combat by sticking it in a water pool, like using the classic fan service episode,
Hey.
and they turned it into something cool and new and innovative. That doesn't sound like that much, but they did. They took the concept of the show and they mixed it up a little. And yeah, this show is good. I like it. It's got great ideas.
Sorry. That's what I really liked. I just rewatched it while Chase left. The moment in episode 3 where he does that weird little running thing. It's not so much that he like runs and it looks like he's gonna fall. It's that he does fall like out of the building, and he does this like really weird flip thing as he's coming out of the building, and then like lands on his feet and like keeps running. And there's like dirt being kicked up. It's nice, and I like it.
He like skids from the momentum.
Yeah,
But keeps running.
Yeah, and it's nice.
You know, there is one guy we've neglected to mention, and he's the best guy ever in this show.
Oh boy.
How can anybody
man.
forget fucking masochist classmate man who constantly wants to get beat the fuck up?
Oh, because he's only around for like 2
Exactly.
seconds.
He's there as long as he needs to be. He's there. He's like, dude, I want to get beat the fuck up right now, and then comes every time Sato gets beat up. It's the best. And he's not a part of the plot at all. He's just a gag.
It was okay, I guess. It wasn't that enticing for me. Anyways, let's talk about the bad. Episode 3. What the fuck now?
What the dog episode, the hounds.
Okay,
Yeah,
these
episode
fucking
3
gang
was
tactics.
Why?
way
Well,
too
that
long.
too, but dude,
Yeah,
these
I
gang
agree.
tactics have to be fucking illegal. Like, there's no way anybody's
Yeah.
not calling foul on this
No.
horse shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They've got the honor system. You go easy on people who, the weak are beaten. The pigs are destroyed. That's the rule.
Yeah, well, the honor system
There's
needs to
like
kick
one
their ass.
part. There's one part in episode 5 where the monarch shows up for the first time and kicks the shit out of Sato.
Yeah.
And like he's got like a fucking private army with him. Like why the hell? These guys aren't getting bentos. They're just there to help him out. Why? It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Also, episode fucking 6. Whenever the monarch sends
Okay.
like a hit squad to go take out the ice queen or ice witch or whatever, Sato finds where she got attacked, and there's like a giant pool of blood that's obviously from her.
Yeah.
And like she's at the
Yeah.
store, like all woozy and limping, and I'm like, no, you fucking bitch, you are in the hospital. You lost a lot of blood. I don't care how much bento you want.
yeah.
You are
Yeah,
unconscious.
it's like a fucking
yeah,
pint of
No,
blood.
you are.
I like when the
You're out
monarch
cold.
beats Sato so hard that his blood hits the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That goes in the good section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I'll say about the Monarch's little private army group squad that he has with him. I agree that it makes no sense that these, like with the hounds, at least they're like, it makes sense that they're working together because they're all getting bento, which I think is something that Joey said in the chat. But
maybe, but
with
who cares
this,
what he
it does
says?
make it does make a little less sense that, like, for some reason this guy's got a private army on him, and the only thing that I can get from it is that, like, maybe sometimes these guys get bento, and that's better than, like, crossing the monarch and getting the crap beaten out of them and getting no bento. But they don't go into it or bother to, like, explain their motives, so it just looks like it makes no sense.
Well,
also, I don't like the idea that the monarch has, like, this private bodyguard group because it makes him seem less cool. Like, he should be, like, one guy who's so good at bento brawling that he, like, doesn't matter how many people there are there, he can just beat the living crap out of all of them and get the bento. You know what I mean? Like, having his own group of people with him around makes him seem weaker in my mind.
He should be more like the wizard. You know, the guy that they're always talking about and the OP hypes the fuck up, but he never does anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just leaves. I think someone said something about him going to America.
Oh, shit.
I think
didn't
he
even
just
know.
leaves or something.
Not the
I don't
wizard.
know. I'd have to look into it. But yeah, Steven, anyway, to play devil's advocate a bit, I think what they were going for there, they never wanted to make the enemies too overpowered. Because then they never wanted to make the enemies too powerful, I think, because the protagonists couldn't be too powerful themselves. I think everyone needs to be on more or less
it would
even
be a
playing
real
field,
shame
because
if someone
otherwise-
used baskets to fucking warp speed around the store and fucking beat you the fuck up with baskets of all things.
Warp speed!
Are you? I think Ben just devil advocated my devil's advocate. Like, he just
every.
Well, if we do it one more
Everyone
time,
who
then we
was
become the devil.
Evil, who was
We can't go through that again,
was
though.
good through tactics and not through just ability. Like the monarch would overpower you with his army, the bitches would double team you.
Can we talk about the monarch's
Alright,
horseshit like philosophy for why he's doing what he's doing?
I just think the idea was that everyone
I guess not.
is defeatable. Because if the main characters were just these badasses who could beat the shit out of everyone, it would make no sense that they would then fight on an even playing field with the other wolves.
Okay, well, what about the twins? The twins didn't have a giant group of army people around them. They weren't scared of overpowering the twins.
They had
but
the
made
power
a
of
big deal
warp
out it with
speed.
The monarch? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
They would fight perfectly.
They jumped
in-
off of a basket off, like, the fucking ceiling.
And also they have like this weird black mist.
They would fight
For some
as a
reason.
team, and as soon as the good guys in the final fight, when the good guys team up against them, they win. Like the
Sure.
twins would win through teamwork.
I mean, I that's probably a part of it. But, I mean, like, the twins... You also have to remember that the twins have been doing this, like, since they were super young. Like, they've been in bento brawling for, like, an eternity.
Okay,
So-
hold on. Everyone needs to hold on.
Holding on. When do I let go?
I not
Anyway,
yet.
Red leader
my point
holding
was not
on.
to say that this was good. It was just to. I think that's what they were going
Ben,
for.
you are told to hold on. Now you hold on, mister.
Yeah, Ben. One more thing that I liked that I want to say because I thought it was really funny that I'm going to say. After Sato gets beat up by the monarch, he like wakes up in the room of the discount god, and he's like looking at her, and in his mind he has another inner monologue, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "What happened? I don't remember anything." And he's like, "Did I do it?" And he like looks at her, and he's like, "Excuse me," and she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Did I put up a good fight?" And she says no, not really. And he goes,
You came
"Oh
up
man."
short.
Yeah, she says you came up short, and then he goes, "Well, no matter." He was like, "What I lack in quality, I'll make up for in quantity." And he's like about to try and have sex with her again, even though it never happened in the first place. And he has this like great moment where he's like, "She has a husband. If he comes in, I'm dead." It's like, it was just, sorry, I just love his inner monologues, and I think they're great, and I think the voice actor is great. Now I'm done. I'm going to talk about shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Talked again.
Let's talk about the OP, which is
Which is
painful
lame.
to watch.
And the ending P, which is also lame.
The ending P. That was for you, Steven.
Thanks. I thought that one was funny. Man.
Well, you got Ben to leave.
God, you
nice.
killed him.
I killed God. God is dead.
For real.
I don't know. I thought. Oh, fuck,
No!
he's back.
My favorite person's back. What'll I do?
Okay.
I thought the problem with the OP is that it's just a clusterfuck to watch, which is also a problem with a lot of the fight scenes. That they have neat ideas in there, but they just don't really. The camera's moving around too much, and there's like 3D and like shit's going on, and it's just hard to keep.
There
track
is one
of it
thing
all.
I like about the OP. Okay, two things, but one is not. It's kind of like a thumbs up, not like a like. You know what I mean? All right.
on.
So one thing.
I'll allow
Awesome.
it.
Thank you, Judge Joey. Anyway, so I like certain shots in the OP when it's like the background character's doing like these dynamic poses. Like he got fucking brunette and she's like got her legs sprawled out over this railing for no reason at all, but with like her arm behind her head. I thought it looked cool in that one shot that lasts like a second. And now for the thing that is just okay about the OP, and that's that it changes once things happen in the plot. And I like it when shows do that.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't an improvement, but at least it did something.
Yeah, it changes depending on the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I that's not like a thing that's I can't say it's like good. It's not really to the it's to the show's credit. I respect it.
At least there's some integrity here.
It's fun. It's cool.
With regards to the ED though, I mean, it's like I get it. Kind of. I don't know. I think I get the emotion, but I think it's kind of dumb. Like, just she's trying to put a sticker on this spot, but there's like a bunch of chairs right behind her. Just get on a fucking chair, you bitch.
Yeah.
God damn.
Nobody said she was smart. Remember, she bought alcohol on her first victory.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why she's got the name.
Well, she tried to.
You know, it's the thought that counts, even though there was no thought involved.
What else can I complain about?
Hold on. So now I was trying to say before, the fucking monarch, like his reason for taking over everybody.
All
No, shut up! It's my turn! God damn it, you interrupted me last time, Ben! This is not how it's supposed to go! I'm supposed to interrupt you!
Fuck, here it comes.
Ah!
I've never seen Chase like this.
Deep breaths.
Ben's about to get spanked.
Deep breaths. Deep
sorry.
breaths.
I mean, it only makes sense because Ben is God, so of course he would evoke this.
All right.
power.
All right. Ben, you're in timeout.
Dang it, he's back to normal.
Anyway, I just want to get out this one thing, and it's that the monarch's horseshit reason for taking over all these bento places is that the girl he looked up to, which is the fucking Machan or whatever the fuck her name is, the female god of bento, she got beat one time, and he's really upset, even though she's fine and is totally okay with it. But he's like, he feel really bad, so he's got to get revenge against, well, not really anybody in particular. He's got to do it.
Well, because there's this whole thing of like the East and West stuff, which comes way out of left field.
And it's never touched on by anybody else. Even the East and West people work together several times with no qualms.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
Like there's one group of stores that is on the east side of town and one group of stores that's on the west side of town. But for some reason, there's like some people like the Monarch who feel that they need to like get the east guys together and fight the west guys. But like not everybody does it or like really gives a shit, and nobody mentions it, and just fuck it.
Nobody
just
else gives a fuck. And he only did it because that chick got beat up once when she used to be a wolf. But she's totally fine. In fact, she probably had a great time. So there was really no point to it whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that women want, is to be beat up while they're shopping for bento.
You know what? And maybe I want to be the woman in this case. That's why I want Shira Ume just to come beat the shit out of me. You know?
Yeah. Chase, you gotta explore your feminine side.
I will. I just gotta get slapped out of consciousness. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, also what's weird is the Monarch has all these fucking, like, giant TVs and, like, a secret base and shit.
He's got, like, an FBI
which, like,
hideout.
They have a weird database that never gets used for anything.
Yeah, it's just
well, hold on. It is mentioned later.
Yeah, they keep referring to the database, and then the twins hack into the database.
Yeah, Ben, I was about to bring that up. You're right. They do bring it up later, but it still doesn't really mean anything. It's just like got general info on all the brawlers.
You know, it's probably just like he saved all that money
As
from
if
winning
it's
so
secret,
many
but
half-price
it's not.
bento battles.
Yeah, dude. You save a lot of money. You're saving like $2 a night.
Yeah. That's why he can afford his own private
That's the
army.
thing you often forget. I guess that's the thing you often forget during the course of the show is that it is all incredibly low stakes.
Yeah. I was really hoping, like, one of these times,
Even if
Sato
you
would have to
lose,
fight, like,
you
a
just
single
pay
mom.
for a full price meal.
Oh, that would be funny. Like a single mom trying to feed like a group of soccer kids.
And she's got, like, 3 babies tied to her, like, in satchels, and she's, like, fighting off everybody.
They're like her shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that, but oh well. I'll take what I can get.
Addressing what you were saying, Ben, I don't think that the show, like in actuality, the show it has really low stakes, but I think the show like causes you to care about the stakes because it cares and all the characters care. So like, I don't think it's really fair to say that it's low stakes. Like these people's pride is on the line, you know, and they are like, they do feel like real characters. They're not just like bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
Normal light novel shit.
I was kind of praising the show for that. It makes you care about the sort of low stakes thing.
Well, Joey, they are low stakes. Like even whenever they lose, at the end of the night, they're just like, "All right, well, I'll come back tomorrow. See you guys then." Yeah. Like even though in the moment it means a lot to them, after the fact, it's not too big a deal. So long as they had fun.
I don't know. I always felt this kind of disappointment.
I guess
when after they lost. Ben, you want to cut in?
Yeah. You do, but anyway, my point was that's kind of the comedy of the show, is it gets you really hyped up for... It makes you believe in the high stakes when, at the end of the day, if they lose, they just buy a full-price cup of ramen and eat that, and it's still yummy.
It's probably the same price, if not cheaper.
Yeah, but they want the bento, because I think the idea is the bento is freshly cooked food. That's why it goes on half price at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's their version of a home-cooked meal.
Because they're all lonely losers without a home. Yeah. And now we're sad.
That's the point. Maybe that's something that might get lost on some people watching. They might just think bento is like just packaged food, but it's not. I think they're cooked on the day. That's why they're going on sale at the end of the day, because they're gonna go off otherwise.
I thought it only mattered because everybody was broke.
I think it's both.
No,
I think it's mostly the broke
fresh
thing.
Food. It's that they're broke and it's fresh food, and it's the only way they're gonna get it.
Plus, it's bento. I don't think it matters like what the food is. If the show had been about ramen, like it would have been just as fine. Like the idea of the show isn't that it's like it's bento. It's the idea that it's like a bunch of people fighting over half-priced food, like something that no one would really care about, and they take it to an absolute extreme, which is great.
Well, hold on, Steven. Think about it. It would have been totally different.
I agree.
Right now, it's called bento. If it was about ramen, it would have been called raw men.
You're right. I'm ashamed. All right, I'm leaving.
Ramen! Ramen! Give it to me! Yeah!
And there's our ending, P.
Give me some ramen. Ooh, yeah.
Other than...
the worst thing in the show is the fucking... embarrassment humor and the miscommunication.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes, I agree with that.
When everyone's going like, "Hey, you're a pervert," and he keeps just stammering at people, and they make it out like he can't say anything to defend himself.
To be fair, he deserves it all.
He just doesn't try.
He is a giant pervert.
He just keeps stammering. But he's not.
Yes, he is.
He definitely
spends
is.
Any thought that he does not spend on fighting.
Kid.
Any thought he doesn't spend on fighting for bento, he spends on ogling all the girls. I don't blame him, but it's a fact.
He's in high school. That's normal.
That's fair.
Might I make a point? Like, I love how they take the fan service shots to the next degree by just having entire minutes where he's just staring at the breasts or ass of one of the characters. And they make it out that that's the camera angle because that's what he is looking at.
True.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning of the show. They kind of stop after the halfway point. But at the beginning of the show, there's so many shots where it's just he's talking to someone, but it's closing in on her chest.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Here's
I agree.
something that bugged me. Towards the end of the show, you've got the twins, and they're, kicking the shit out of everyone multiple times a week. And they're, like, everybody's, like, starts to get discouraged. They're like, I don't want to fight anymore because I'm just gonna lose. But, like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because, like, the Krillin guy or the brunette girl or whatever, like, those guys lose every week already. Like, what? They can't fight the Ice Witch. Like, why do they even fucking compete anyways?
Well, hold on. We don't know if they always lose.
They don't lose every week.
We did because
They
we
go to
always
different stores.
we always see what our heroes get, but there's still like 3-4 bentos other than what our heroes
Yeah,
grab.
yeah.
So we don't know who else won.
Yeah, well, whatever.
We're just following our guys.
That was my point earlier, was that I believe everyone's supposed to be on a more or less even playing field. It's not...
But that's clearly
Unless
not
you might
true.
counter.
Because the Ice Witch kicks
It
the
is,
shit out of
though,
everyone.
because-
And she's lost once
Yeah,
to
but
2 people.
she just takes one bento.
Well, nobody takes multiple bentos.
No, but I know, but that's the thing. She doesn't end it for everyone. She just takes one and leaves. Everyone else can still get a bento after her.
I also think
Ben
it's
is saying because like when the twins come in, they kick the shit out of everyone, and then.
And they leave them unconscious.
But I mean, they can still get up
they
and
take the fun out of it for everyone.
I don't know. I don't exactly buy it. Steven, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something. It was a
Well, I'm
point.
glad
that
I cut away to you.
No one start talking.
Bento!
It's come back.
Bento?
No, I lost it. It's completely gone. It's gone.
All right. Well, I'll talk, and hopefully Steven remembers. Fuck. What was I gonna say?
It's cold in here. My toes.
No, I'm kidding.
It's cold in
I
here,
remember.
And my toes are freezing.
I remember what I was gonna say. It was I think I know why they got so discouraged by Orthros. It's only because they went everywhere and kicked the shit out of every store they could get their little hands on. Whereas like the Ice Witch, she'll just go to like the same stores usually. It's sort of like a schedule for her. You know what I mean?
You can avoid her if you want.
I guess that makes sense.
I think it's just because of how suddenly they showed up. You know, it's probably just like a shock factor here.
Because also the thing is, I think they had it wrong. Like I think saying that she was discouraging everyone, like they all wanted to quit, was a mistake. Because I think the idea was they did discourage everyone in the previous town because they stayed there for years doing that. So they really did ruin it for everyone because no one could ever win for years. Whereas they've only been there for a couple of days. People shouldn't be getting that discouraged.
Well,
yet.
remember, fucking Heracles Combo came in and started talking up how these two will always beat them and they'll never accomplish anything with these two around.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm sure that sped up the process by miles.
Yeah, but that happens right at the end. That's
Well, yeah,
after
but
everyone's
but
already
people were
been
still
getting
participating
discouraged.
up until that point. Like nobody was quitting or going somewhere else until then. You know?
Well, the brunette said that she might quit.
Yeah, because she got her ass kicked harder than she's ever had it kicked before. I don't blame her.
Yeah, one shot to the
Her
head.
fucking brain got rattled. Also, she's a woman. They can't make good decisions.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the game changer right
I'm
there.
enjoying all the low-key misogyny in this show so far. I mean, I guess people haven't heard the bonus episodes, but this has been a running theme.
Heyo. I hate Heracles Combo's design. I fucking hate his face. They build him up as this cool guy. He's Heracles Combo. You know, you think of Hercules, he's just a madman, a naked madman with a lion skin covering him and a club. He just goes around and beats up everybody in Greek mythology. And you're like, okay, this guy's got to be like a little bit cool. And you see him and he's got the hat, and I'm like, okay, he's a real like Red. He's a real Ash Ketchum. And then they show his face, and he's got the most baby face eyes on the fucking planet. He's disgusting. I want to kill him.
Yeah, I'm also disappointed in
Joey.
him because he was really weak.
Joey, I'd hate to burst your bubble a bit, but I think that was the point.
Well, no, it was
They
entirely
built
the
him
point.
up to be... They build him up as the giant enemy, but then in the end his tactic for beating them is to just get everyone in on a very simple plan of not fighting.
I don't think
His way of winning is to
That's-
not fight.
I don't think that's the case.
Well, no, I think it is the case that he was supposed
It's
to
kind of the
not
point.
be super threatening, like just in his design alone. But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean I'm not disappointed in it. I wish he was a little more intimidating.
Yeah.
You know?
He's
He
like,
could be
he's
better,
got
but
the
I
body
understand
of a
why
Hulk.
it was
Like,
done.
he's super buff, and he looks like he's ready to throw down. And then you see his eyes, and you're like, oh, it's Kirito.
Well, okay. In
Yeah.
in Over the Garden Wall, they did a similar thing with Jason Funderburker, where they built him up to be the total package, quote unquote, and then
that's
you come in on
because it
Jason
was-
Funderburker and he's trash.
That was clearly a joke, though, Steven. It's not that clear in this
I thought
case.
this was a joke. I thought it was a joke too. I thought it was clear to me.
It seems like Joey just doesn't know what a joke is.
I think that's probably
I think they. I understand what they were going for, but that still doesn't mean they did it well.
Right.
Sure.
Like, yeah, the point may have been that he was supposed to be underwhelming, but he still could have been a bit less underwhelming than he was. Like, he could have been underwhelming, but still have looked good.
Sure. I guess.
I mean,
Well, I really wish he was more threatening in the moment when fighting, you know? Because
Yeah.
if he's boring
Yeah.
on the outside, then he like takes off his like overcoat and it turns out he's like buff and ripped. That would have been cool, you know?
Yeah, but then they also make quick work of him.
No, well, they could have like, I don't know, they could have had an actual fight. They could have done a lot of other things. Ben,
Yeah.
we're taking it one step at a time.
yeah. Ben.
Like they
That's
could have
in your
shown
real name.
how the fucking pervert beat Orthros. I would have loved to have seen that. I
Yeah, I
wanted
would've-
that.
I would've
I
loved
wanted
to
the
have
grudge
seen that.
match. I was hyped for a grudge match to see how they beat them by just like taking away the baskets and being like, you can't use those now, and that's it. That's how they win.
That's the thing. The thing I loved about the show is how hype everyone got in the fights. But the last time we got a hype fight was the pool episode.
I don't know. I was pretty hyped to see the twins fight the Ice Witch
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. That was a great fight.
because
Like, yeah,
they've been building
yeah,
up
but
the
it
fight
wasn't
for so
the same
long, and
kind
it was
of
really
thing.
cool.
And the Ice Witch is really
but I don't-
powerful.
And she
Oh.
got beat
Like,
the
they didn't
fuck
have any
up.
proper bento episodes until then. Like, we had one in the second half of the show, which was Ice Witch versus Orthros.
Yeah,
We only got one.
I agree. As the show goes on, like after 7, you've got 8 and 9, which suck shit. They're boring and I hate them. And then you've got
Yeah,
10,
skip 'em.
which is like mostly okay, kind of mostly because of the fight with the Ice Witch. And then like 11 and 12 are decent.
12
I
was
was
12
very
was
hyped for
good
the fight.
whenever Sato came in and fucking came in from jogging like a marathon in under a minute, and his stomach rumbles and erupts, and everybody is suddenly just like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, that's right. I really want bento. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just fight."
Yeah, it was great.
I was
He
happy with
reminds me
that.
of the true meaning.
I think the
Oh, it's
morals
the
in the
true
show.
meaning of fightmas. The true meaning of kickmas.
I think the morals of the show are really, really powerful in the sense that if you love something, fight to the death for it.
Oh,
And these
yeah.
guys really love their
Yeah.
bento, and they really love
Yeah.
their bento. They're discounted, half price off. Okay,
Yeah, and they turned the power of friendship into the power of hunger. It's great.
yeah.
Wait, Steven, was that what you were trying to remember a while ago?
No, that
Aw.
thought is lost forever. That thought was cucked right out of my brain.
Is this show just a massive deconstruction of shonen?
No, it's
All
not
right.
a deconstruction.
All right, Ben.
God
all
damn
right.
it.
You
It
need to
has
pump the brakes a
deconstructive
bit.
Elements.
You need to pump the brakes and steer into the skid because you're slipping.
I liked
Well-
how Ben posed the question, and then I like how both of you reacted the same way. Like, okay, Ben, come on, no.
Chase and I are
reacted
just so
in my
simpatico.
mind.
I'm gonna deconstruct my dick into your
Don't use Italian.
butt.
You know it's my trigger.
Ooh, fresca, fucking, gelato, oh, bacano, I'm getting him.
Wow. Oh man, you're gonna need burn heal.
Hey, wait, Ben, what does Bakano mean?
It means ruckus.
Okay,
God
I
damn it, Joey.
did I
Oh my god, is that it?
did I ask you, Joey?
Bacat.
Did I ask
you
you?
guys, everyone's had the pronunciation wrong for years. I didn't even realize it was Italian. Baccano.
Yeah.
Joey, you
Not
you get a
bacano.
timeout.
I don't. I run this
Bacano.
show.
Exactly. That's why you need a
Congrats, people.
timeout.
Listen, anyone Anyone who's made it 1 hour and 10 minutes into this podcast, you heard it here first. It's Bacano, not Bacano.
Okay, but that's
I
so
don't
less
give
cool.
a fuck.
Right, but what?
It is
But
so
Ben,
less
we're
cool,
but
and
Ben, we
Italian
speak
is the worst
English though.
language.
We don't speak that weeb shit.
Oh, come on! Don't flatter Italian by calling it weeb shit.
All right.
Does anybody
You
else
know,
have
when
anything
you're right,
to say?
You're right.
I don't have
Shut up.
anything else.
The
That's what I have to
fucking-
say.
I hate black hair girl. I hate what.
I hate you!
He's
I will
back.
fight you to the death.
Not Ben.
I just-
Not Ben. He's too pure.
I despise these characters that just force their weird, twisted view of the world on other characters.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Because you were saying
I'm
earlier
just
how you
so
hate
sick of
how
it.
you hate like miscommunication and whatnot, misunderstandings. There is no communication
Yeah.
here. There is just her way or the highway. There is no back and forth. It's either she's right or you're dead. And it's both.
I enjoy the concept of what she does. It's fun. But seeing it happen, I just get frustrated.
She's not
and I really want
interesting.
someone
There's
to
a-
No,
deck
she's
her
not.
I
in the
think
face.
it's
There's a
that
million
sexual
different
frustration.
types.
You don't understand it yourself. Your body's not ready for it.
Look,
You'll soon be accustomed to it.
There's a million different caricatures that are just like this girl that you've seen 1,000
And they're
different
all
times
inferior
in anime.
because she's the one true.
no
girl.
No, she's just. There's no
Okay.
like pathos to her. There's nothing like
No,
that
Joey,
You look at her
Joey.
and you're like, okay, that's better. That's a redeeming quality.
Joey,
than
the
other
other
fucks.
interpretations of this character are them going, "You've got it wrong. You're wrong. God, tsundere." No. This chick is all business. It's like, okay, whatever you have to say is stupid. I don't really care for your opinion. You're wrong. Slap. You're unconscious. End
I
scene.
do believe she is the best version of this character that I've seen.
Also, I think if she were to join the bento brawl, she could take care of everybody just by slapping them all over the place.
That would be interesting. If I saw her like get passionate about bento, then I'd give a shit. But the fact that
Yeah.
she just roams around the fucking planet just beating up Sato, only him and nobody
Oh,
else,
that's
it
the
bugs
best.
the crap out of me.
Would you rather she just beat up random people? No, it's got to be directed towards this guy who is
No,
a pervert, and
no.
she doesn't want associating with her best
we'll-
friend.
Chase's argument is wrong, and it's objectively wrong, and
Yeah.
Says the
and
cuck.
it's not worth
Therefore,
arguing.
your opinion is invalid.
We
All
all
right.
thought
Well, I'm backing
Chase
up
was
the cock,
goatee,
so
but secretly
Whoa.
Chase was
Wrong.
the
Whoa.
masochistic nerd all along.
I feel myself
Secretly-
getting a little more gay.
Secretly, Ben,
You
I
know
am
the one who
very
keeps
open about
telling
wanting to
Sato,
get the
good job for getting
shit kicked out of
beaten
me.
up? You know the fat masochistic nerd
Yes.
who keeps giving Sato thumbs up after he gets
That's
slapped
me.
in the face?
It is me.
That's him.
Okay.
It was
Or were
me
you
all
both
along.
goatee and him?
I am
Any-
two characters at once.
Any final points to make? Please, God, release me from this nightmare.
I had one.
You all better step up
I
your
had
game for
one.
choose your waifu, because you're slipping. Except for Ben, he's doing
No,
all right.
I
He's
I
picked two
recast.
choice candidates.
I've recast my vote for the dolphin guy.
It's too late, Joey.
thought that
The
was-
ballots are
okay.
final. Ben got to change his, but as soon as he did, it was close shut.
The
all
polls
right.
are closed. No.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can't Pokemon go to the polls any longer.
I guess.
I will share Dolphin Man if you want.
Okay.
But as of the polls, yes,
Is that
those are close.
is that the,
Now-
is this the final point?
Unofficially.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I had
oh.
one. but
It doesn't have to
I
be.
kept Talking.
Well, keep going then, Ben. Chat your little box off.
I'm gay.
All right, there it is.
Well, it's a good show. Watch it. It's fun.
6 out of 10. I liked it.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah,
I genuinely enjoyed this.
I'd go with a 7.
I would also go for a 7.
Some of the things that you guys said with regards to the humor didn't really like ring as strongly for me. Like a lot of the
Shocker.
inner monologues that Steven was talking about, I didn't find them that funny, but some
I
of them
did.
were enjoyable. So yeah, on the whole, strong 6. And now it's time for a preview for next week of Fuck I Dropped My Sushi, and now there be dust on it.
Next time on your mama's favorite podcast, Fuck I Dropped My Sushi, we got a hot little ditty coming up for you called Nokome. In other words, I guess that's short for my mental choices are completely interfering with my school romantic comedy. Boy, do I relate to that. Alright, to give you a short summary of what you can expect from this shit fire, we got this little plot line here that Wikipedia's generously provided to us that explains a main character, Kanade Amakusa, is a high school student suffering from a curse called absolute choices. This curse requires him to select an action from a list of 2 or 3 options that appear before him at any time, and he has no control over what choices appear. Many of them are weird or perverse, and as a result, the curse has tainted his reputation with his classmates and other people around him, making his life very difficult. Give me a high five for that sweet perversion. Yeah! Furthermore, one day coming home from school, he makes a special little choice that results with a beautiful young girl falling from the sky. Ooh boy. Amakusa discovers that she was sent from the God world to assist him in completing a series of missions given him directly by God himself? What? Look here. After completing these missions, the Absolute Choices Curse, it's important that you know I'm doing air quotes, the Absolute Choices Curse will be lifted from Amakusa. But should he fail in completing any of these missions, he will be stuck with the curse forever. Boy, does that sound like a doozy. We can't wait to see you there, and as always, you fucking weeb scum, have a fucking horrible ass day.
As always, I am hijacking control over this podcast. I am the infinite cuck, Steven. That's my ending P.
Hey, I'm hijacking control of this podcast. It's my podcast. That was Steven. He's the infinite
You can't
cuck. I'm Joey, the
hijack
Dark
a
Lord.
hijack.
I want to.
Ben,
can I just pull Joey
He's
aside?
British, and Chase
Alright,
is
fine.
here.
Only if I can take Steven aside.
Say goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
I'm
gonna pull
Joey aside
twice. No, don't go.
Bye.
Adios. Goodbye. And
Adios.
Okay. Bye. I'm so alone.